before the stars stretched across the sky and the galaxies whispered secrets of distant worlds. Two unlikely heroes were about to meet. Buzz Lightyear, a fearless space ranger from the future, chosen to test a revolutionary spacecraft capable of jumping through time and space, and Woody, a quiet cowboy of the Old West, skilled yet untested, searching for a purpose greater than the dusty roads and simple towns of his era. This is the story of how their worlds collided, how a journey through the unknown forged a friendship stronger than time itself, and how two men, one from the future, one from the past, would embark on an adventure that could change the fate of humanity in a distant future. Earth stood at the edge of its final chapter. Years of war, pollution, and environmental collapse had slowly turned the planet into a fragile home. The skies were heavier, the oceans less alive, and cities struggled under the weight of survival. Humanity knew that if it wished to continue, it would have to look beyond the stars for a second chance to answer that hope. Star Command launched a bold program, a mission to search the universe for a new world where humans could live again. Explorers, scientists, and pilots were gathered from across Earth, each willing to risk everything for the future. Among them was Buzz Lightyear, a skilled pilot known for his courage and discipline. He believed deeply in the mission. For him, exploration was more than duty. It was a promise that humanity could still find hope in the unknown. Buzz was chosen to test a new experimental spacecraft, a ship designed not only to travel through space, but to bend the boundaries of time itself. If successful, this technology would allow humanity to explore distant worlds far faster than ever before. The launch day arrived. Engines roared. The ship rose into the sky, leaving Earth behind. Buzz stared forward, calm and focused, as the stars stretched ahead of him. He activated the jump drive, and space twisted into streams of light. At first, everything worked exactly as planned. Then the ship began to shake. Warning alarms filled the cockpit. Energy levels surged beyond control. Buzz fought to stabilize the craft as the navigation system failed. A powerful wave of energy pulled the ship into a corridor of light that felt endless and silent all at once. Buzz held the controls tightly. The ship broke through the storm and descended toward a planet below. The landing was rough but controlled. Dust rose around the ship as it settled safely on the ground. Buzz took a breath, relieved that he was alive. When he stepped outside, something felt wrong. There were no cities, no satellites in the sky, no signs of modern civilization. Instead, vast open land stretched toward the horizon. Forests swayed in the wind, and distant mountains watched silently. Over the plains, Buzz scanned the environment and froze. When the results appeared, he was on Earth, but not the Earth he knew. He had traveled hundreds of years into the past. Into the age of cowboys and untamed frontiers. Buzz returned to the ship and discovered the worst part. The jump engine had burned out during the time wave. Without repairs, he could not leave. Far away, a lone cowboy rode across the open land. His name was Woody. He lived quietly on the edge of a small frontier town, known by few and remembered by fewer. Though skilled with a horse and quick with a plan, Woody often felt something missing. He couldn't explain it, but deep inside he believed life held something bigger for him, something beyond the dusty roads and predictable days. That evening, Woody saw something unusual descend from the sky. It wasn't a shooting star. It moved slowly, controlled, and disappeared behind the trees in the jungle nearby. Curiosity pulled at him, and he turned his horse toward the smoke rising in the distance. When Woody reached the clearing, he stopped in amazement. Before him stood a strange metal craft unlike anything he had ever seen. Its surface gleamed in the fading light, humming softly with energy. Nearby stood a man in an unusual suit, studying the ship with quiet frustration. Buzz heard the horse and turned, cautious but calm, For a moment, the two men simply stared at one another, one from the future, one from the past. Woody realized quickly that this stranger didn't belong in his world. If anyone from town saw him, panic would spread like wildfire. "Better come with me," Woody said. "Folks around here don't like what they don't understand." He brought Buzz to a hidden cabin and gave him simple cowboy clothes and a hat. The bright spacesuit was hidden away. Over the following days, Buzz explained his mission. He told Woody about Earth's future, about humanity's desperate search for a new home, and about the ship that needed repairs before he could continue. Woody listened in disbelief. But there was honesty in Buzz's voice that made the impossible feel real, though he barely understood the technology. Woody offered to help repair the ship as they worked together. They began to learn about each other's worlds. Buzz tried riding a horse for the first time, and nearly fell more times than he could count. Woody laughed, promising that spaceflying looked easier than horseback riding. Buzz explained stars, distant planets, and worlds where the skies looked nothing like Earth's. Woody listened with wide eyes, imagining horizons beyond anything he had ever dreamed. Their days were not without danger. Curious townsfolk asked questions. A group of bandits once followed Woody after spotting the strange craft in the forest, forcing the two men to outsmart them during a tense chase through narrow canyon paths. Another night, a sudden storm nearly destroyed the repair work, and they fought together to keep the ship safe. Little by little, respect turned into friendship. One quiet evening, they sat by a campfire under a sky filled with stars. Buzz stared at the flames and admitted the weight he carried. Earth's future depended on explorers like him. Every delay meant more uncertainty for humanity. Woody looked up at the stars, seeing them differently now. For the first time, the sky felt less like a ceiling and more like a road waiting to be traveled. He confessed that he had always felt out of place, as if the world he lived in wasn't the one he was meant for. Buzz smiled slightly. "Out there," he said, "there's always another frontier." Weeks passed. At last, the ship's engine roared back to life. The repairs were complete. Buzz prepared to leave as the ship hummed and lights flickered on. Woody stood nearby, quiet and uncertain. The moment felt heavy. If Buzz left, life would return to normal, the same routines, the same empty feeling. Buzz climbed aboard and looked back. Woody hesitated, then spoke. "You said you're looking for a new home," he said. "Maybe I've been looking for one too." Buzz extended a hand. Woody took it and stepped into the ship. The engines ignited, lighting the forest with a soft glow. The ship rose into the night sky, leaving the cowboy world behind. Inside the cockpit, Woody watched Earth grow smaller beneath them. His face filled with wonder and fear all at once. Buzz adjusted the controls, his expression steady but hopeful. He was no longer alone. The jump drive began to charge. Light filled the cabin as stars stretched into bright lines once again. Two explorers, one from the future, one from the past, launched into the unknown together. Somewhere ahead waited distant worlds, lost mysteries, and the chance to shape a new future. And as the ship vanished into space, the greatest journey of their lives finally began.
This is only the beginning of the adventure. More parts of this story are coming soon. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and press the bell icon so you don't miss the next part. And if you want to see the next episode, please comment yes below. Your support will decide what happens next in the story.